So you have AnaVu installed, right?
I do.
Yeah. So if you can start AnaVu and share your screen, then I can guide you through it. Thanks.
Okay.
So if you want to take it to full screen, on the top left panel beside the plus,
This one.
to the right, yeah, this is the maximize
Okay.
thing. Yeah,
Maximize. Got it.
yeah.
Got it. Okay.
And yeah, so in order to load the lessons, so there are two ways. First is loading the entire folder. So if you could go through, go to the next, the panel just below the maximize one. Yeah. So this is loading a lesson. Beside that, you can see a search button, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. If you do this, yeah. So you could go through the new data folder or data folder if that is the name there. Uh,
Actually, I think I had it. So it's go to C drive. Okay. Let's. It is under the AnaVu folder, right?
yeah.
Okay. So
There'll be a folder where all the lessons will be present. So
I'm just trying to recall where I kept it. Current data, right?
yeah.
Okay, so just select this.
Okay. Select folder. Yeah.
Couldn't
Okay.
find
So
this.
there is
So,
some. Maybe this is some new data. So okay, fine. Let us just load the file now. So load a file from current data. Yeah. Okay. So these are all AView files. So load any lesson if there is brainstem is there. Yeah. Please load the brainstem full. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Yeah. Click on the bread icon in the right panel. There are scroll bars, and then there is the, yeah,
The
above that
brain.
there is a bread. Yeah. This will set it. This is specifically for the brainstem lesson, so this will set it right. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. Have you used the tool before in any way?
I mean, yeah, we've only come this far. I've only come this far and I've tried to move the image around, but that's about it.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So firstly, when it comes to these 3D structures, there are three planes. Okay, because it's in 3D. So as one would expect, along the x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. But anatomically speaking, they call it in superior to inferior plane, anterior to posterior plane, and left to right plane. Okay. So these are the sections basically, and the planes are called coronal, sagittal, and axial. So when we work with doctors and teachers or professors, these terms come around a lot, like axial, coronal, and sagittal. But for now, let us work with the simpler terms like superior, inferior. So when we say superior, inferior, superior is towards the head and inferior is towards the legs. Okay. So to your left, if you can see, there are three buttons: superior, SI, AP, and LR. Right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Can you
Yeah.
click on the SI once? Yeah. So if you can see right now, before this, we were looking at it from the head, right?
Mhm.
So from top to bottom. So
Hmm.
that was a superior to inferior view. When we clicked on the button again, we went from the inferior to the superior view. So right now you're looking it from the bottom up. as you would see if you were looking from the legs. Okay.
Okay.
Similarly, if you click on the anterior posterior, the one beside that, yeah, so anterior would be towards your eyes and posterior would be towards your spine, so behind. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so these views are basically you can shift between going looking from your eyes to your spine or spine to your eyes now. Okay,
Got it.
and next would be left to right and right to left, so just the panel beside that. Yeah, so left to right and one more click, right to left. Yeah,
Okay. Got it.
so yeah, so now if you could rotate around the image, just move your cursor, click on it and
Just click
rotate it
anywhere on the image.
on the image or anywhere on the screen. You just play around with that cursor. Yeah, so this way you can rotate the image. Okay, so also if you scroll in, you can zoom into the image.
Okay.
Click
So
and
if I
scroll will zoom into the image. Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, so going to now, say you want to bring it back to the original position, you can just click on the load button again, so that will bring it back to the original position.
What's the node button? This one?
The load button, the one below that. uh yeah, you just click that once.
Oh,
Let's see if it loads the lesson again. Let's wait for it to complete. No, I don't think so. So you might have to load the lesson again
from
if
the
you want
file.
to bring it back. Yeah, from the load. Oh yeah, it's
Okay.
back, right? Yeah, so
No, you
this
have
will
to just
bring
click
it.
SILR. Yeah.
Yeah.
Projections. Yeah. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So as I said, there are three planes. So you can see three cross sections here, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is the blue one is the green one, and one is the orange one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So these are basically slices of your brain. So if you would take the entire 3D volume and cut it in slices, this is how you would see them. Okay. Now,
Yeah.
say we want to scroll through these slices. So towards the panel at your right, you can see these are the three slices, right? This one.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one is the axial slice. Okay, it is basically cutting through probably the neck, if you could imagine that,
Okay.
right?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Next is the coronal slice. So that is basically cutting through your um, head to the bottom. So let me just open and share my screen.
Okay. You'll share your screen?
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay. Just say when you're ready, I'll start sharing.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm ready to share my screen.
Yep. Go ahead, share.
Can you see it now?
Yeah, I see it now.
Yeah, yeah. So these are the three slices or the three planes. Okay, so this is the axial plane. Okay, this is like cutting. Say if it would were your head, it would be cutting here basically. Okay,
Mhm.
the coronal will be cutting this plane. Okay, so this is like looking at your head from anterior to posterior. When you're looking at that in
Yes.
that direction, this plane would be cutting that. Okay, the axial plane would be cutting your superior to inferior view. Okay, and
Yeah.
the sagittal will be cutting your left to right view. So these three cross sections you can see towards the right panel. So yeah, I can you bring that back?
Okay. Okay. Go back.
Yeah, so yeah, so now towards your right you can see a slider, right? It shows 0.5 there. Yeah,
Yes.
so
There
if
are
you could move
three
that
point
up
five
and down.
like that.
Yeah, if you could move the slider up and down, that will move the plane up and down. Okay, so right now the blue plane is moving from top to bottom or bottom to top as you move it. So this way you can cut the plane in, cut your 3D volume in different planes at different levels. So
Okay,
that
got
way
it.
you can see different slices. And just above that, if you could see the, yeah, this will,
This area, right?
yeah, yeah, this one.
So we can click
Okay,
on
click
there.
on that, please. Yeah. So this will bring the cross section to your center,
Okay,
so
okay.
that it, yeah, it can be viewed uh, better. Also, even though the original image is there, you can still rotate it and play around with the image there as well on your right panel. If you could
Okay.
try that once.
So where
Yeah,
here?
here you can. Yeah, you can do that here as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Also, in order to rotate the view, so just the arrow below the one which you just clicked,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
not the
This
one above. Yeah, the round
this
one.
one?
The one below
This
that, the
one.
round one. Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
this will
Okay.
basically just rotate your thing around. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. The one
Got
more
it.
way to slide through the images is just put your cursor above the image, the plane, and just scroll. Not here to, yeah, here as well. You could try that on the right panel as well once.
So where here?
Not here, the one where the image is being shown in the right. Yeah, here you could try scrolling. So this will
Oh,
also
okay.
scroll.
Got
Yeah, and you could try scrolling all the three planes once and see what's happening.
it. Got it. Got it. Okay. Nice. Got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. So can you bring the original one back?
Yeah.
So yeah, let us remove the planes once. So if you could go back to the left panel, just below the anterior, posterior, superior, inferior thing, just below that. Yeah, could you remove the planes? Yeah.
Okay.
So this is your view without the scan, the MRI basically. So could you please rotate around and see structures here? And yeah,
Okay.
so
Nice.
yeah. So now, if you could click on labels, so just beside planes, if you could turn on labels, yeah. So basically, when you click on structure on a particular structure, its color changes. It becomes gray, and when the
Mhm.
labels are on, it will show you the label for that as well. Okay.
Okay.
And to your left panel, you can see the particular label is highlighted as well, along with its color.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah. So if you could
I
turn
have
off the labels,
a quick question.
yeah,
So if I click on something, like here is spinal cord, here it shows
yeah,
the midbrain, and then this
yeah,
one is basis pontis. Okay. Now, if
yeah,
I click on
yeah.
this purple structure,
Hmm.
middle cerebral pentacle, it's still
Hmm.
the line is pointing still at this one, the yellow structure. Is that a bug?
Yeah. So yeah. So these are the problems with labels. So that is why we generally avoid showing this. But
Okay.
in most of the cases, labels work well because for people when they want to see what is where, going through the left panel might be a problem for a lot of people. So this thing helps a lot. But there are
Okay.
still some issues, like it shows just the text is below the box and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, these issues are there. So this is one of the things that we keep, but we generally turn the labels off because the
Okay.
left
Got it.
panel does show all the structures anyway. Yeah. So if you
Okay.
could
Got
turn
it.
the labels off. Yeah. Yeah. So next we look at, can you bring it to the anterior posterior view? Yeah.
Okay.
The anterior posterior view. Yeah.
This is an anterior posterior view.
Yeah. So now click on the structure in the middle, probably the
This
grayish one.
one?
Yeah. Yeah. So go to the opacity thing to the left. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Decrease the opacity for this. Yeah. So when we decrease the opacity for something, that structure keeps on, it goes to point two only. It will keep on vanishing. And if you increase the opacity, it will keep, yeah. Okay. So now let's go to the pink structure just below that. The pink structure below that. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah. This one, the bigger one. Yeah. Now, if you
Yeah.
decrease the opacity for this, yeah, you can see two yellow lines appeared, right? So
Yeah.
when we decrease the opacity for things, we can actually see structures which are hidden below or under the bigger structures as well.
Okay.
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 And if we do not just want to decrease the opacity, so you can click on the eye, which is towards the right of the slider. Yeah, if you click on the eye, the structure disappears completely. Now
Okay.
if you
Cool.
click on the eye again, it will reappear.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, these are the things. Do you have any questions here?
I think this is fairly clear at this point. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, so these are basic the main features for AnaVu.
Um.
Now
Just a minute.
uh,
Shweta has some questions. Shweta, you want to come maybe close to the mic?
I was asking if one part can be like just visible and every other part be hidden, something like that. Is there any tool like to do that?
okay, so the only way to do that once a lesson is loaded is removing everything one by one. Okay, so say we have to focus on a certain part, we make a separate lesson for it. So that is the general case. Say we want to show in within this lesson, we only want to show something, then we'll have to remove all the other things just the way we did just now. That's the only way to do it once a lesson is loaded.
Okay, so we will have to remove everything separately.
Yeah, yeah, true.
Okay.
Um,
I think we can continue.
Yeah. So this was the brainstem lesson. So this is one of those lessons where we can explain all these especially the things about opacity and other things very well here,
Okay.
because the number of labels and the number of finer structures here are more. Also, when it comes to 3D orientation of structures and all, it is much better when we explain it through the brainstem lesson in general, because a lot of orientation things come into picture. So if you could go to the top blue structure.
This one.
Yeah, and you
Okay.
hide this one once. Yeah, mid brain. If
Hide.
you hide the, yeah,
Okay.
you can also see the
Oh,
nuclei which were present below that, which were not visible earlier. So these interesting things generally come up when we look at the brainstem lesson. So yeah,
okay.
let us look at the other lessons now. So if you could load, yeah, click on the load, choose the lesson. Yeah. Not that one. This is an older one. Yeah. Let us go to ventricles once.
Ventricles. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so as you can see, the ventricles is a much, if you could turn on the planes or if you want to see that as well.
Let's turn the planes off. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, so if you can see, the ventricle is a much simpler lesson. It only has one structure in it right now. Although these are different ventricles in themselves, um right now it only shows them as a single structure. Okay. In general, this is a part of a much larger structure in the brain. But what we have done here is just to focus on the ventricles part, we have brought it into a different lesson. In order to show the structure of, so if you could see the one which is coming off down there, that is the fourth
This one.
ventricle, for example. Yeah.
Yeah.
In a much larger structure, it would be very difficult to spot these things separately. So we have created a different lesson for this. Uh, the other, if you could load some other lesson.
So you want to load another lesson? Okay.
Yeah. Another, the second last lesson, the venogram rotavium.
So Venogram.
Yeah, venogram. Yeah, the second last one. Yeah, click on the bread icon once.
Click on which one? The bread
Yeah,
icon.
click on the bread. Yeah. Okay, so yeah. So the venogram. So basically, do you know about the arteries and veins in our body?
Yeah.
So arteries basically carry blood from the heart to all the parts of the body, whereas veins carry blood from all the parts of the body to the heart. So this is the vein structure in the brain, and there is a play button down there, right? Click on the play button once. Yeah. So here I think we can appreciate this if we turn off the planes. So can you turn off the planes once?
Turn off the planes. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
this is the flow of the blood in the veins. So until now, whatever we were seeing were MRI scans. Here, what we have done is there is another scan called the venogram, which only essentially only captures the veins in the body. So we took the venogram, segmented out the veins, and produced this flow. So this is how the blood flows in the veins in the brain. Yes. So yeah, next, if you could load another lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let us go to optic pathways, the third last one.
Crashed. Okay, it's back.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Optic
it's
pathways.
yeah. So this is basically just the pathway in your from your eyes to the brain. So you could see the eyeballs to the different
Okay.
structures in the path, and you can also see the ventricles here. You can see the corpus callosum as well. So this is just another lesson like the other ones. So if you could load one more lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go to cerebrum. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the entire segmentation of the cerebrum. So this is the biggest of the lessons right now. So as you can see, there are a lot of structures here. So this lesson is particularly, yeah, if you could turn off the planes, you can actually appreciate all the structures here. So this is all the structures in your brain, from gray matter to white matter and everything else. So if you could, yeah, look, hide things and all that, yeah, keep hiding things, we'll notice that lot of things are under this and under that as well. So this is one of the bigger lessons. Um, if you want, you can play around with it for some time, and we can look at you can look at it from the below as well. Yeah.
Nice. Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. Let's load another lesson. Yeah. So let us go for abdomen. Yeah. So until now, whatever we were looking was in the brain. So this is the abdomen region now. Can you turn on the planes here? That way we'll be able to see where it is. Yeah. So this is the abdomen region in our body. So this is, I think this one is still in the trial phase as far as I know, but yeah, the segmentation is good. So you can see the liver here. You can see other structures. So you can see can you see the gallbladder? Yeah. The esophagus. So all the abdominal structures you can see here. So this is one of the only lessons we have outside the brain.
The labeling has to improve as in what it's pointing to.
Mm.
What I point to and what it picks up is different.
Mm.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Yeah. So I think that's about it. These are the major features in AnaVu. If you have any
This
doubts.
is helpful. This is definitely
Hmm?
helpful. It will help us navigate. I mean, this has been super helpful. Thanks. Really appreciate it. Uh, Sweta, yeah, questions.
Can you explain the use of the smooth eye, mouse, and all like things?
Oh, okay, so smooth is basically if you could click on smooth and just scroll the slider.
Okay.
I don't know if it's, yeah. So if you look at it, when these structures are generally outputted as voxels, right? So when we make meshes out of these voxels in any different way, so smoothness is how smooth or how coarse the mesh is generated. So in general, zero point 0.5 smoothness works well. Or if you could see here, the structure has become very coarse, right?
Mhm.
And you can see a lot of details which are basically not needed as well and which are not anatomically true here. Whereas if you smooth it a lot, can you smooth it to 1? Yeah.
Okay.
So now the structure has become too smooth and a lot of fine grained things have gone. Okay. So smoothness generally said to 0.5 is enough. That is not something that is of interest to the kind of audience we present to. This is a parameter that we set while making these meshes. And the eye is not for this 2D view, the eye is for the 3D view. So if you could look at, see the glasses there to the right of left to right. Don't click
Yeah.
on the glasses. The glasses to the right of the left and right, yeah.
Plus and like about
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are for the stereo view basically. So now you can see there are two screens, right? So the
Mm-hmm.
two screens are because if you would be looking at a 3D screen, they'll be projected on top of each other and that will bring the 3D effect. Okay, so the eye basically aligns these two planes on top of each other so that you get the 3D view. So that is why the eyes and the mouse and the specs are there. But in general, we are not, I don't think we are doing the stereo view a lot anymore. So these
Okay.
things are not of much use.
Yeah, I find the items which are not showing it. Okay, problem. Cool.
So, Dr. Doris videos, how did he record? Do we have a coding option in the software or did we use something else?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
So, in our YouTube channel, Dr. Doris has uploaded a lot of tutorials. So, does our software have some recording feature inside it or did we use something else outside?
Oh, are you
Outside of
asking if the software has a record option?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no. Those videos are recorded separately where he uses the software and the video is recorded. Yeah. This
So that's
software
a screen
itself does
capture
not have a
function.
record option here.
Got it.
This is mostly a viewing tool. In general, if teachers want to prepare lessons from this, the way they do it is take screenshots, or if they want to show it as a lesson, then they make a video out of it. So that's how it's done. Yeah.
Got it. Cool. Anything else you'd like to add? Okay, good. Okay, this has been awesome. This has been super helpful. So thanks a lot again, Rudransh. Really appreciate it.
Okay.
And if you have any follow-up questions, we'll definitely reach out. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.